Okay, welcome
Yes.
to the shit.
Um,
Welcome to the fucking.
hat on the wall.
Welcome to the SL podcast.
What the
What's
fuck's
the
SL
SL
stand for?
Shit lord. I don't
Shit
fucking know.
lords.
We don't have a name for this. We're gonna
Welcome
talk
to-
about shit.
What if we do the Orochimaru sayings to pay homage to our weed lords?
Our weed lords?
Weed lords.
I didn't know Orochimaru was our weed lord.
Yeah, that's what I call the guy in the corner.
Oh shit. We're just gonna fucking talk about shit for the next hour. What the fuck are we gonna talk about?
You guys want to talk about politics and make
No.
Americus
Oh,
mad?
Dude, fuck furries. Okay, that's on the record.
Well,
Hot
I
take,
mean,
hot-
yeah.
Alright, Cody.
Hot take.
You know what?
Hot take. Furries eat my ass.
Hot take, furries eat my ass, but also hot take, like, anyone wanna eat my ass? No. Okay, Cody, you had a story you wanted to tell us. Let's start off with that.
Okay, so I guess if we're gonna start with me telling my story, so I got a call earlier, and so keep in mind this call was probably about like 3 hours long, and this guy taught me a lot about life. Now he's telling me that he owns a business.
Hold up. I just,
Go
3
ahead.
hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 3 hour long conversation.
You're telling me
right?
it was like a third of your shift.
Yes, it was a third of my shift.
Okay,
It was the last third of my shift, which is why I was late to this entirely. Okay. Now this guy,
Wait,
he
Cody.
taught me quite a bit.
Cody,
okay?
wait.
What?
For a little background, Cody works at a call center.
Okay,
Alright,
yes, I
continue.
work at a call. And sometimes I want to kill myself, sometimes I don't. This guy made it super special for me. So this guy, he tells me that he runs this business. Okay. And he tells me what the business is about. And he ends up talking to me because he sells $30,000. They're worth $30,000. They're the shower heads that are worth $30,000.
Wait.
How are shower heads worth $30,000?
How are shower heads worth more than like $30?
He was in one of the most expensive states to live in.
California?
Yes, where a lot of pop stars love to live, right?
Fucking $30,000 shower head.
Oh, is it one of those ones that has like the lights on it and it's like made out of diamond?
Yeah. It's like made out of some crazy shit. Like
How many
really
different
good
pressure
shit. It has
settings
like
do these things have?
Enough to get
Like
you off
20.
10 feet away.
like 20, right?
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's fucking insane. But the point is that this guy was just like talking to me about it, and you know, he's the CEO of this business. He's telling me about his life and everything, and you know, he's like, hey, if it weren't for all the confidentiality, I would help you out, buddy. And then he told me, right, to read this passage, right, about life, and it showed me that he's one of the most humble human beings I've ever met. Now he's like, if you read that, give me a sign. That's what he told me. He's like, if you read that, give me a sign.
Wait,
Okay.
what the fuck is he, Larry?
Cody, were you talking to Jesus? Did you actually
I
phone
think
to
so.
Jesus?
I think I did.
What
But
kind of
the best
CEO of
part-
a company is calling
He was Jewish.
your call center?
He was Jewish. Well, because he had some personal issues that he had to deal with his phone.
I thought every CEO has a person for that.
I mean, okay.
If you're selling $30,000 shower heads.
Well, yeah, but I looked everything up, and it was too legit, right? Like,
Oh, I thought you were
everything
gonna say
lined
like
up.
it was fake. I couldn't find the company name.
He's not real.
No,
This
no,
guy was
I
This
crazy.
guy
found
was
the
tripping on
company.
mushrooms the whole time.
No, I found the company, and the dude's name was like the CEO, like on LinkedIn and shit. Like, it showed up his name as CEO, and it fucking blew my mind.
Wait,
Right?
what would you
so
do?
This dude was in bullshitting.
What would you do if it was just this guy like spent a whole day looking into the company to impersonate the CEO? Like he knows
Yeah, but
everything to the T. Like you said, it's too legit.
Yeah, it's too legit, dude. But the dude had like this account for like so long. Like, there's no way he's been planning this for like 30 plus years.
I don't know,
right?
dude. The fucking long con.
Now this dude was really like, he was a gem to speak to. I doubt he would ever like see this, and he probably would know who he was if he saw this. But holy shit, bless his heart, I love the guy. He was super chill to talk to, right? He talks to me, and he dead. I think he was drinking, because at some point he dead ass told me that I was like a guardian angel, and that like I was an angel sent from God to meet him. Right, and this is the first time anybody's ever told me that.
Maybe
for
he
some reason.
was the CEO. but he was
Yeah.
still tripping on psychedelics.
And he was just like
Maybe.
on a lot of cocaine.
And he was just super nice. He was super humble, like I said. And then at some point he was like, "All right, we have to say goodnight. You got to get to your girlfriend, and I got to get back to my basketball." He was watching a basketball game.
Wouldn't 3
beforehand. He's
hours,
I
like,
gotta
wouldn't
get.
the game be done?
He probably had like
Yeah, he had it
rich people
recorded,
things
DVR.
like DVR.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I had
Yeah.
DVR.
Remember, you can pause live television, so you can just pause it
Yeah.
while you make your sandwich and then fast forward all the.
And fast forward the commercial. Yeah, see, that's exactly what he was doing. And he was talking to me about everything. And at some point, he ends up telling me, he was like, "All right, we gotta say goodnight, whatever." I'm like, "Okay, man, good night. You have a good night. Thank you so much for everything." That's what I'm telling him. And he was like, "All right, you go back. You go home. You kiss your girlfriend. I love you. Good night." One of those things
Is
is
there a
not like
moral?
the other.
Is there a moral to this?
No, there's no moral.
moral
to this. It's
is-
just that I talked to some insane people who happen to be really rich and who could own me. I talked to some
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Did I ever tell you about that crazy lady, Matthew? I know I told Michael about this.
Yeah, I was
crazy lady.
there.
Yeah, the crazy lady who you work for. Oh no, fuck! What was his name?
The
Your
government.
boss? No. What was
Richard Boone.
Yeah, Richard Boone,
LeBoon.
who owns the
Richard-
government and Google.
And then she told me to tell the internet, okay, internet, and internet and the Google is what she told me. Internet and the Google. I got to tell you all this one
The
thing, right?
Google.
Don't go to the dark side.
Wait, she's a genius because you can put podcast on Google. She knew all
Yeah.
along.
Yeah.
Cody, you're being visited by 3 different prophecies.
It's
This
like the
is,
ghosts
like,
of
not-
Christmas, but
Exactly.
they're just ghosts.
Yeah.
Here's your past, present, and future, with no direct correlation to each other. These are just separate parts
Figure
of
it
your life.
out.
No, it's the ghosts of Christmas, but they're all crackheads.
Who's to say that they weren't in the original story either?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I mean, you like working, if you ever want to work at a call center, do it for 3 months and you have some stories to tell.
And then just quit.
Like, you'll have some.
Say nothing.
Then just quit.
Leave.
Say nothing.
Nothing at
leave.
all.
Tell your,
That's
tell
like-
your stories
leave
on the
the
internet
country.
and profit.
You just have that bucket list of one thing you want to do just to so you have stories for it. I want to join a cult for a year in my 30s.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to go into a cult and make a documentary about it.
No, not even a documentary. Just 50 years down the road when my grandchildren are in their 30s. I'll just be like, you know what I was doing at your age?
Well, no, just think about how cool that would be, though. It's
That wouldn't be cool, though.
Well, no, okay. So you have to get indoctrinated into the cult, but you also have to keep your mind controlled
Sane.
enough that you don't completely fall to it, and then you're on the inside and you get that information.
Can
I
you,
kind of want to do that with the Westboro Baptist Church.
dude, imagine trying to leave and they're like, yeah, you can go, that's fine and everything. Let's go watch a movie first.
Wait,
It's
look at this movie we rented.
No, it's just, it's a little drive-in in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, we used to go here all the time,
It was wonderful when it was open.
Jesus.
Wait.
That's the kind of white people that white people don't fuck with.
Do you think there's cults in the middle of Nevada?
There's cults out
no,
here.
No, specifically when you're just fucking driving and there's nothing.
Yes,
for
Michael.
miles?
I can tell you exactly where a cult is. That clown town in Nevada that you refuse to
No,
go to.
fuck
Yes.
you.
We could go there. We could find a cult. We could join the clowns.
We can
We
film
become
it.
traveling carnies. Profit.
Film it.
No, traveling carny maybe, but fuck the rest.
I think the moral of the story is that if you want some good stories to tell, just join a cult. This is sponsored by
the Westboro
Podcast 2 Electric Boogaloo. There we go. We still haven't come up with a name. We'll probably come up with a name at some point. Hopefully it'll be something cool.
Shit, we beat the name.
3
to 4 idiots with a microphone podcast.
Anyone can make a podcast.
Oh, so we were making a joke. Me and our good bodacious friend here, Matthew. We were making a joke that since we thought you were gonna show up and we thought Ryan was gonna show up, our good friend Doug always hangs out with him on these days. We thought Doug would join, like, just for shits and giggles. Then next week's episode, we would record it and we'd be like, oh, fuck, it's too bad that happened to Doug. Then never go anywhere with it.
Just leave it at that. And then a year from that, we bring our Doug back onto the show and just like, oh, hey, Doug, how was it?
It was terrible that you decided you never wanted to record again, but nice of you to visit on your anniversary of never recording again.
Just how was it? It was good. And that's it. And Doug's gone.
He just leaves again.
Disappears for another year.
Rest in peace, Ryland.
Rest in peace, Ryland.
Oh, poor boy.
Hopefully someday.
He's
not here on the inaugural episode.
The Father, the Son, and the Ryland Ghost. So, how about them Pokemon?
Again. Okay, I want Cody's opinion first.
Is that him?
What,
No.
you want my opinion?
Okay.
Oh, is that the boy? Is that the boy?
No,
Is the boy
It's
calling?
not the boy. Damn.
Cody, I want your opinion on Pokemon first.
You want? Okay. I mean, I already gave you guys a little bit of my opinion.
You can't get
you
mad
know,
just because a dog has a sword.
Okay, no, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
I
No, I'm
you
not
just
mad.
raised your voice.
I was
I'm not
so
mad. I swear to God, I'm not mad.
I swear to God, I'm not mad. But if I meet anyone from Nintendo on the streets, your ass is fucking done. No, but I think I'm looking forward to it. Like, it's nice to see, well, one, raid battles, fuck yeah. Two, that just further cements that I'm picking up Pokemon Sword because fucking Sif as a Pokemon. Hell yeah.
I like the shield
also,
Pokemon though.
I like the shield Pokemon, how it like actually incorporates the shield into its like main design.
Whereas freaking, I just have a sword. I found this on the ground.
Whereas it's
now
Sif,
now I'm
you
God.
know. Whereas it's just Sif, but you know, regardless, I really am looking forward to the raid battles, getting to see the biggest of boys, the open world aspect, as well as the fashion disaster that is the fucking boy they showed off. Because did you see what the fuck he's wearing? Holy shit!
He's wearing like a soccer uniform.
Oh,
with
are you talking about the champion?
Yeah, the
It's a
champion
soccer
with, like,
uniform with a crown and like a.
He's got like the
Dude,
kingly crown and the cape, and then he's wearing like soccer shorts.
The second I saw him, two thoughts went through my mind. One was like, he's probably a nice guy, but not the kind of nice you want to be a deep friend with.
Yeah.
And two, this guy fucks.
So hard.
Probably R34 of him already by now too.
I mean,
We're not gonna talk about this.
I wouldn't doubt
I
it.
think the thing that I find the funniest about Zacian is literally it's just a wolf found a sword, and now he's like, "Hey, I'm pretty cool."
So no,
See, I
okay,
like
can
it.
we actually talk about?
What about the other legendary?
No. So what qualifies something as a Pokemon now? Because this is just a giant dog with a sword. Like, is the sword bound to the dog forever? Because he just has it in his mouth.
Michael, I think we lost that aspect when a literal pile of garbage was a Pokemon.
Don't you fucking be mean to Trubbish.
He's fucking rubbish.
Fuck you, Trubbish is a gift to this world.
I think we lost it at that point. Now we just kind of go with what we have.
See, but like even in Trubbish, it's like it's an amalgamation. Like that's all one part. Trubbish is a bean, but it's like the staple of these Pokemon is the one I don't remember their names. It has a giant fucking mane that's basically a shield. It's a giant shield that's incorporated into its body.
Yeah,
The other one just carries around a sword.
but the sword's gold and
Is
kinda
the
looks
sword
like it's part of his
forever
body.
with it?
I mean, I guess we'll find that out. He can't. Didn't he throw it around in the trailer? So that means it can't come out of his mouth.
I'm mad.
I'm thinking honestly, when he comes out, what's likely to happen?
What if
is that either his ability or one of his moves is going to unsheath the sword, like on the second turn.
they're both just really mutated Lycanrocs, and they ripped an Aegislash in half and kept one part of it?
You know, I think
Polymerization? Is it Yu-Gi-Oh now?
Okay.
Are we Yu-Gi-Oh boys?
Dude, we're Yu-Gi-Oh!
as far as you know what qualifies a Pokemon, I think that kind of just like Starbomb hit it on the head, you know, with their new Poker app, you know, like
I haven't heard it, to be honest.
No, it's like 6
Not-
years old.
not their new, but like you know what I mean.
Oh,
the
that one?
song
I thought
called
you-
The
I
New
thought you were
Poke-
talking
No,
about
the
the
new
new
No,
song
no.
rap.
Oh.
No, not the new. Not they don't even have a new poker app. It's just the new poker app is what it's called. I mean, they hit it. They hit it on the head, pretty hard. I think, in being that there's like no originality. Like I said, they made Sif a fucking Pokemon now. So, what else can we
See,
expect?
I think it's actually a lot deeper of a question though, because take Muck and Grimer for example. These are Pokemon that are born from sludge, but did they exist before mankind did?
Oh shit.
Well, like,
Exist before we had that kind
But
of
in
pollution?
Sun and Moon, you have the Ultra Beasts.
Ultra Beasts aren't Pokemon though. They're interdimensional.
fuck Sun and
like
Moon.
beings.
I don't want to think about Sun and Moon honestly. There's something about Sun and Moon that I just really do not like.
We're a Pokemon podcast now. We're gonna question the creationism behind Pokemon.
Well, okay, that's actually you can go pretty deep with that because like, who actually was the first Pokemon? We're talking about Arceus. We're talking about Mew. Talking about Rhydon.
Well, that is a good question, and also in the Pokédex
Yeah,
it does
Pokemon
show
is pretty
Bulbasaur
good.
as the first Pokemon, but that's not true. He's not the first Pokemon, so why would they put him as the first Pokemon? Well, I know
Who?
that like the outer design Bulbasaur, the outer design of the game was that like they never really thought about who the
Bulbasaur's
first
just
Pokemon.
number one on the Pokédex.
yeah,
Well,
the
yeah,
Pokédex
he's the first
is
one in the
different.
Pokédex.
The Pokédex is like
Yes,
as
but-
they're discovered.
So Arceus
But
is a
what
god.
about Jirachi? What about Jirachi or Celebi? When
Jirachi
did
has
they
nothing to do
come
with
out?
it.
Or Deoxys? What about Deoxys? When did
Deoxys.
Deoxys come out?
Wait a minute, Deoxys.
I think Deoxys falls within the realm now that we have them of Ultra Beasts because he is
Yeah.
singular. He has that kind of shifting form, and he's from another like
Outer
sort of
space.
like yeah.
Okay, wait. We're going off on tangents. Back to
Sword and Shield.
yes.
Pokemon
Are we talking about what
Gun.
makes a Pokemon within Sword and Shield?
No. Okay, we're
Are we-
just gonna go opinions on Sword and Shield. Back to that.
I like it. Michael, what do you think about it?
What do you like about this?
I like it. Michael, what do you think about it?
Same. I like it. I'll just leave
Okay.
it at I.
You guys aren't gonna like this. I already went this over a bit with Matthew, but it's like I'm kind of at the point where I don't even like Pokemon for the games anymore. I just like Pokemon for the. It's like Sonic.
You just like Pokemon for Pokemon.
I just like Pokemon,
like Pokemon
for
for
the
the
world
porn.
of Pokemon.
Yeah.
But the games are just so repetitive to this point. Like
It's
this
fair.
one's going in a different direction, so I mean, fuck it. I always pick a Pokemon, okay?
Yeah, I mean,
But
Yeah.
I'm never excited for Pokemon anymore.
Yeah, I feel.
I just expect it because it's always the same song and dance. Which, again, I like Pokemon. I love their designs. Pokemon's an awesome world, but it's like it is the longest. Okay, everyone shits on other video games. Everyone shits on all these sports games, on all these shooter
Call
games
of Duty.
that do the same thing every single time. But Pokemon is concurrently the longest holder for doing the same exact fucking thing every
well,
time.
okay, hold up with that though, because the difference between them is that you get these new Pokemon, new moves, stuff like that, every gen. Whereas with games like that, only thing different is story and weapons.
You get story, map, new
But the thing-
mechanics. But here's the thing: I'm not saying that it's wrong.
No, I know, but I'm saying like.
But I'm saying Pokemon shouldn't be held on a higher pedestal just because of childhood nostalgia.
I don't think it's
I
even
do
nostalgia though. I
agree.
think it's because turn-based battles have been around almost as long as gaming with like
Okay,
Final
well,
Fantasy.
I'm not saying it's the battle system. It's just like
Yeah, but the battle
It's
system,
the formula.
battle system is the core.
it's the formula of the game. Like
Get badges, fight the gym leader, stop the bad guys.
you know what I wish.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I want. Since we're not gonna get this Pokemon, shit, my contacts are fucking up. You know what I want out of like the next gen Pokemon, like whatever's after this generation, like 4 or 5 years from now.
What?
I want the Pokemon Breath of the Wild tree.
I mean,
Completely.
I
open
want them to
world.
flip the fucking script. I want them to do something crazy and out there that people are gonna question and think it's not gonna work and it's gonna be fucking weird, but it's just gonna make it that much better.
yeah.
See, but what can you do with Pokemon to get to that point, though?
I don't know, but it's
Pokemon
like,
because
Go.
we-
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon, I guess, but like the thing about Pokemon is that it's so.
you know what?
Okay.
Okay, you know what I want to jump out? You know what would make it more interesting? This is like I want a change of pace story-wise. It's always the same exact thing. Brand new trainer, go fight all the gyms, go fight all the kahunas, whatever. It's always the gyms. Only Sun and Moon changed it up. Go fight all the gyms, whatever the bad guy is for that generation. Stop them, whatever they're doing with the legendary for the generation. Get the legendary, go finish the rest of the gyms, fight the champion, do whatever endgame they have. Like, I want to spice it up. I want a Pokemon game that's not the same exact storytelling every single time.
Okay, I think the next logical step for Pokemon...
Murder.
No. I think the next way it could go, and it probably should go, is building on Pokemon Go. But think about it. Within 5 to 6 years, we'll have virtual reality just integrated into stuff. At least augmented reality.
I don't think at a commercial point.
I don't know. Like,
but it's like,
honestly, I don't want to get into politics right now, but it is dependent on how well countries work together within the next few years. That will determine how fast we can accelerate this, because I think the next logical step is that it's something like Pokemon Go, but where it is like played off of like Google Glasses or something like that, where you are the trainer, you are performing these objectives, like Pokemon Go like 2.0 or something like that.
I don't want
where
that,
it's more
though.
Personal.
I don't want that. Like,
as
a person, no.
Give it 10 years and we'll be plugged into the game.
That would be cool. That's a cool idea. But as a person who just wants to continue, like, I want the games to still be the games on the systems. I want just a change up in the formula. I'm tired of the same exact story every single time. It is every single time.
Yeah.
For what?
Pretty repetitive.
I forget, what is this? Generation 8? Fuck.
Yeah, but like...
9? 8? 9?
It's 8.
8 or 9 generations. 8. No, there's no defending it. A lot of games do the same exact shit over.
No.
But every single generation is the same exact story.
It's very predictable.
With just cut and paste characters. Sometimes you get a unique, like, standout here and there.
I think the only... Sun and Moon was unique.
Yeah, they changed
with
up.
With Cosmog and,
yeah, you have...
Kahunas and stuff like that, trials and stuff.
It was different.
But when it comes down to it, how are you going to build a Pokemon game that's not that?
I know, that's the thing.
The only way you can change that is by maybe making the game completely open world.
Okay.
Expanding the open world. And then, instead of gym leaders and stuff like that, it's more just, I don't know, maybe based on like a faction system.
Okay, 5 years ago I asked you this question. How do you change up Zelda on a huge scale?
Open world.
Open world. But how do you make that good? How do you make that work?
Well, okay,
so
you say open world, but I think about like, like technically Ocarina of Time was
Ocarina of Time is not open world. That's
Majora's
progression through...
It's progression
it's
open
still
world.
Linear progression.
But same thing with Link to the Past. That technically is open world, and Link Between Worlds.
But you can't access every area out the gate.
I think the first Zelda game to mix things up a lot was like Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. The DS Zelda games, like I made a meme on Twitter about like I'm sick of seeing people be wrong, because the other day Zelda was trending on Twitter because it was like people were ranking their top 3 games, and all the time you would see Ocarina of Time at the top. Honestly, my favorite Zelda games in that I put are A Link Between Worlds, because that's a genuinely good Zelda game that expands on A Link to the Past being perfection. Number 2 is definitely Spirit Tracks or Phantom Hourglass. I put Spirit Tracks, but Phantom Hourglass is also really good. They're both really intuitive, and a lot of people just shit on them because they're DS games and not many people like them. Whereas you can say Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild is a fucking masterpiece. But
if they were to do like a Phantom Hourglass like remaster or something like that for the Switch, I'd pick it up.
Same. I
really thought Phantom Hourglass was fun.
I love being the fucking hero of trains, dude. Like,
see, but like
shit.
I'm not asking for opinionated stuff here. I'm asking, how do you genuinely objectively change it up in a way that's gonna keep the core audience entertained, but also spice it up for people who are tired of the same exact thing every single time.
Well, let's start again. Open world. Open world was the basis for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Basically the way I see Breath of the Wild is Legend of Zelda as a skin, as kind of like the base idea, with an open world similar to that of like, Breath of the Wild is like Shadow of the Colossus, but with small enemies, as well.
Yeah, that works.
That's really what Breath of the Wild is. Breath of the Wild is Shadow of the Colossus with more puzzles and smaller enemies in between.
Can you cook in
And
Shadow
a less
of the
ambiguous story. You can't cook in Shadow of the Colossus.
Colossus? Fuck you, you're wrong then.
Okay, cooking, whatever.
Well,
Stab Booster
no,
cooking's been
but
around forever.
it's
No.
Shadow
No.
of the Colossus, more puzzles and a less ambiguous story. That's all it is.
Well, yeah. Well,
Well, it's not like Zelda has changed up its story.
yeah.
Oh yeah, but it doesn't need to change its story to be good, right? Like, so the idea is not to change the story, but to change the gameplay behind it. Because well, okay, my biggest
Maybe
gripe
I'm
with
just cynical
Pokemon,
when it comes to
I'll be honest, my biggest gripe with Pokemon Sun and Moon, it's a good game. I'll admit Pokemon Sun and Moon is a good game. I don't like it that much because it feels too samey, and me playing it, I shouldn't have to spend 3 or 4 hours just listening to dialogue when I already know what to do when to do it.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have to.
I can
That
understand
is a big point. I am tired of how handholdy all the new Pokemon is.
Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, it's for children." They were never this handholdy gens 1 through like 5.
What I would really like for them to do is put like a harder mode.
Give me a difficulty thing. People
Yeah.
say difficulty won't work in this kind of game. Yes, it fucking will. Cause I'm sick and tired of going through an hour between 1 to 3 hours of tutorial in a game I've been playing for 7 generations.
There's a reason why people do randomizers and Nuzlocke and stuff like that, because the game is not hard enough at its base.
Yes.
The game is not challenging at its base. Slight tangent. Fuck the new XP share that they introduced in Gen 7, because that just made the game completely stupid, like easy. You don't have to grind your Pokemon anymore.
See, my thing is like I'm at a mid ground between the XP share, because honestly it's like I don't want the game to be too easy at all.
The old XP share I'm cool with.
It's like the XP share makes the game way too easy, but at the same time I don't want to grind forever.
See, but there's a difference though, because there are people that like grinding. Like I like grinding. I like going through and I like leveling up my Pokemon, because I know that once I get to this Pokemon at a certain point, it's gonna be powerful enough to take down the point that I'm having trouble with. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Out of all the Pokemons I've played, playing Pokemon Silver as just a plain Nuzlocke, no randomizer, is the hardest experience I have ever had with a Pokemon. To the point where I had to grind my Beedrill to level 30-something just in order to barely scrape by Morty's gym, which is only the 4th gym leader. Because his Gengar with Dream Eater is impossible to get by unless you have a Dark move by that point. So unless you picked for Alligator, you're screwed. Totodile, I should say, because I know people are going to bitch about that. But unless you picked Totodile, or you picked up like a Rattata early and got it to learn Pursuit or something like that as Eradicate, for me as a Nuzlocke, I had a Beedrill, and out of all my Pokemon, that was the only Pokemon that could learn a Dark type move. So I went and I grinded for 3 hours straight to get that Pursuit. Maybe that's a little extreme. I understand. But that sense of accomplishment after beating him felt great, because, I went in, I put that work in, and now I was able to beat this bitch. Whereas, like Gen 7, I didn't try at all. I beat the Elite Four in like 10 minutes. Once you get the EXP share in Gen 7, or not Gen 7, Gen 6, and X and Y, once you get the EXP share in Gen 6, the game's done. Your Pokemon are like 20 levels over what they should be by the time you're at the last gym.
Yeah.
So, that's just one thing I really hope that they get rid of in the newer one. I'm interested to see how they do the raid battles.
So
To change up the Pokemon formula, what you'd have to do, I think honestly, is make it open world, complete open world with different biomes, randomized spawns, and more trainers, more like actual like world building. And it sounds kind of weird, but this may just be the easy way out, is introduce like a faction system where it's one faction trying to rule over the other one.
see,
Like
that's all good ideas.
you'd be a cool idea.
Mm.
Like a feudal era Pokemon game.
Ooh, that would be.
Where like you're engaging in like a war, like you're engaging in a conflict, you know.
So, okay, here's the thing. That's all cool. That would be nice. But we're living in a shitty world. Because that's never going to happen. Because why has Pokemon been getting easier and easier with every generation?
Because kids are stupid.
Why would they make something that's better in design when it makes it more complicated? When they keep dumbing it down every single generation?
Because more people buy it if it's stupid because they'll buy it for the kids.
Which, okay, you made your point on how to make Pokemon better. But because of that specific sentence, I want to go off on a tangent about video games in general.
Before we get to that, one thing I just remembered. Gale of Darkness.
I never played
Gale of Darkness somewhat mixed up that Pokemon. That Pokemon story. You had the Shadow Pokemon, you had to purify them by having these pure Pokemon, stuff like that. I haven't played it, but I've heard a lot about it. But that was a really cool way for them to switch it up.
What do you call it? But I want to talk about games in general. I am sick of video game difficulty. Not specifically. I'm not going to talk about the Sekiro thing. The Sekiro is stupid. Everyone on that conversation is stupid. But the thing I want to talk about is I'm sick of video games difficulty. Because it seems that video games are either too fucking easy nowadays.
Or too stupid
or
hard.
too stupid hard. There's no middle ground anymore. Where it's like, I feel a game's too boring as shit because I just fly through it, or I sit there for 3 hours on like the first area. And it's like, what happened to just making games feel like they have a natural progression because of difficulty scale?
Because I think a lot of games nowadays either just go for the stupid hard because they want that shock factor. Because it's the Dark Souls syndrome. Everyone talks about Dark Souls because, oh my god, Dark Souls is so hard. If you can't play Dark Souls, you're fucking bad at video games, dude. Like, why are you even talking to me right now? Get the fuck out of my face. Whereas, like, those... I understand Dark Souls, and yes, I understand the difficulty is appealing for a lot of people because...
See, but Dark Souls, like, I'm not shitting on anyone who can't beat Dark Souls, but Dark Souls is hard because the combat works against you in weird ways.
Yes, but there are a lot of people that do shit on people for not liking Dark Souls.
But I'm not talking about gaming communities in general. Let's kick that out. Let's kick out viewing other people. We're going to talk about how I feel, okay?
Okay.
Fuck everybody else.
Fuck everyone else.
Fuck everyone else.
No, but it's like...
Random Doom 2019.
Yeah, but Dark Souls is on... It's hard as in... It's basically just stats going against you. You take a shit ton of damage from everything. You don't do much damage unless you know how the game works, okay? But everything is a 1-2, 1-2. Once you get the rhythm down, you beat the game.
Well, let me on this, since in a similar fashion, let me bring in World of Warcraft Classic, Vanilla WoW.
Okay.
That is why a lot of people also like it, is because that's the stats are working against you, the game's working against you. Because WoW nowadays, you pull 6 enemies, you're completely fine. You kill them, no problem. Easy. Done. WoW Classic, you pull more than one person, and you're by yourself, you're completely fucked. Like, as a rogue, at level 30, taking things that are maybe a couple levels below me, I can maybe do two or three. Maybe. And that's if they're like 3 or 4 levels below me, and I have all my cooldowns up, everything like that. But anything above me, a level or 2 above me, I do one at a time, and I'm going to struggle with that. That's one thing. That is the type of difficulty that I like, because I feel that's the way, like Modern WoW's boring.
I feel achieved when I actually get the stuff done.
Yeah.
Like, when you first start playing Dark Souls, if you don't give up on it because it's too hard, it's so
Rewarding.
it feels so rewarding to like get past like the fuck the Capra demon when you first get into the game.
But and then it's like you also get like you keep going and you get cool pieces of gear and stuff like that, like rare pieces of gear, and you're like, oh wow, that's sick. It's the same thing with like WoW Classic, where these items nowadays drop from anything and everything all the time. You're guaranteed to get it pretty much no matter what. Whereas in WoW Classic, you come across a green, holy shit, this is the greatest day of your life. You come across a blue, my god, you're a rich man. Like, that's the type. I like classic game difficulty.
Yes.
Games that are hard because their mechanics work against you and not with you.
Okay. How classic are we talking?
Not EverQuest Classic.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know about EverQuest Classic. EverQuest is fucking stupid. I mean, it was great. It was modern, and it was a good way to adapt the D&D 2 system to a video game. But fuck EverQuest.
See, you're using the word classic wrong. This is really stupid to nitpick, but when people think classic difficulty, they go back to like the Nintendo era, where things were just bullshit hard because you paid... Shit, how much were games back there? Were they still like... They were like $50, right? $80? I think they're like $80 a pop.
They were...
Which is like, you dropped $80 and they made the games as bullshit hard as fucking possible, because in reality,
Battletoads.
you're actually beating the game in like 30 minutes if it's easy.
Well, on top of that though,
Battletoads.
there also is, because a lot of these games were adapted from arcades,
Which
and arcades were
were
there
made
to
bullshit
to
so they
make
could
money.
keep eating your quarters.
Yeah.
Battletoads Arcade, you actually couldn't kill the final boss.
Yep.
Oh god, Battletoads! Fucking E3! Fuck it! We're changing the subject! I'm changing the subjects! Fuck everybody who likes actual talking! Battletoads!
We're only yelling now. This is it. The Yell Boys podcast
Sorry,
has begun.
Cody. Give us your input on game difficulty.
No. Game difficulty, I think, it's not hard enough sometimes. Sometimes it's really difficult, but other times it feels easy. Like, honestly, right now, I'll be honest, I played a little bit of Zombies, and now I'm playing Borderlands 2 again because I'm in that kind of mood. And I'm just blowing through the intro here, taking a bit of damage as a new level 1. And I remember being crushed by this game here back when I first started playing it. And now that I know it, it's less about, if the game's designed to be hard. It's more about if you understand the mechanics behind the game. Because I could pick up Dark Souls and pretty much give me like 3-4 hours. I'll probably be at Gwyn if I just sat down and played it in one sitting, It's not like hard because I know how to bullshit the mechanics right back, especially with the Capra Demon fight, as you mentioned before, with me throwing firebombs over the fog gate to kill the dogs, and then to even kill him if I wanted to, but regardless, I really did want to get on the topic of E3 because I wanted to talk about how some hype-ass games, not Battletoads, but some hype-ass games were announced before E3, right? I saw a trailer for a game today that hyped the shit out of me, right? I don't know if anybody else, I know a lot of people who feel this way, but I don't know anybody else. Yes, rehydrated.
No,
hell
it's Battle
yeah,
for Bikini
brother.
Bottom, rehydrated. They're re-releasing it current gen.
Yep, they're re-releasing
Yes.
it. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Wow.
It dropped today. It's just like a 20-second trailer with like the new shitty SpongeBob
THQ
animation.
Nordic.
But
Yep.
THQ Nordic.
They're doing
Really?
it, man.
Yeah.
And I got so hyped.
Huh.
That's like actually
teased
what
it
I'm
today.
excited
I thought that was
for.
a meme. I didn't know.
No.
I didn't know it was real.
Yeah, Battle for Bikini Bottom, rehydrated.
Yep. I was excited for that.
Oh,
I was
Roblox
gonna
it.
make a meme about like Call of Duty Modern Warfare at some point. Honestly, my thoughts on E3 are that I don't know if it's gonna have a lot of games. Didn't Sony say they were pulling out of E3 this year?
Sony's pulling out, but I don't think that's gonna hurt it. The Microsoft press conference is
It's gonna be
rumored to
good.
be 2 hours.
It's gonna be good, I think. Nintendo, they're gonna do their Treehouse, of course. It's gonna be all right, I think.
What's Sony even got?
Metroid, Animal Crossing Battle Royale.
Well, they
all the
already
good
showed
stuff.
off a good. Well, they had the Death Stranding trailer a couple days ago.
So I think pretty much Sony's already blown their load when it
Well,
comes
no,
to it.
because they still got Last of Us 2 because anyone's personal opinions on it doesn't matter.
It's getting
gonna be
postponed.
it's gonna. Really? When did they announce that?
Like a week or two ago, that was going to get postponed to 2020.
Oh. Well, you can still show shit. Like, a lot of games shown at E3 aren't coming out. It's only, like, in recent couple years, people are, like, really showing, hey, this year drop shit. Like, a lot of time, E3 is like, hey, we got this coming in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, but see, so, like I said, though, I think Sony's really blown their load already, because within the past month, what have we gotten? Death Stranding trailers. The Last of Us trailer dropped a month before that. We just had this Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer, which is a big thing for a lot of people.
Well, Final Fantasy VII is going to be at the Square Enix show, though.
Oh,
it wouldn't have been at Sony. It's
okay.
But
that's right,
they have...
It was
Because
rumored for Xbox One.
this is all rumored for now, but I forget who the actress is. But she all but basically gave away there is a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel.
Yeah.
So they have that. They probably would have showed some more Death Stranding stuff since it's so close. Nobody thought it was coming out this year.
Yeah.
I hope at E3 they announce that Horizon Zero Dawn, or Horizon 1 Dawn, I'm sorry, features the same people who did the facial animation for Mass Effect Andromeda as they did with the first game, because holy shit, that was his goal.
Dawn?
No, I didn't.
Their facial animation was actually great. Like, it's not as bad as Mass Effect Andromeda, but it's bad. Like, the scenery and, like, the wilds and everything, it's a beautiful looking game. But when you get into looking at people's faces in the game engine,
it's so bad.
Skyrim.
Me and Michael, when did we pick? I remember we picked it up, or like we rented it.
I watched
and we were
you play
playing
it for like 2 or
hours.
3 hours.
And the faces. I mean, the combat was fun, but what dumb fuck? I'm gonna just quote, essentially quote Donkey here and say, what dumb fuck, decided to release it like 3 days before Breath of the Wild. What dumbass did that?
I mean, it was still critically acclaimed.
It's still a good game, no doubt. But still, they fucked up. They hired the guy from Titanfall 2's marketing.
The new,
it's okay.
The new Assassin's Creed probably be shown.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, they're probably
going
to show the DLC for Assassin's Creed.
Because they're still supporting Odyssey.
They
still have another
Mario
big
Odyssey
DLC drop. They've been doing like bi-yearly now with Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. See, I'm excited though. The DLC actually looks kind of good. It makes me want to pick up Odyssey because you actually go to hell.
I'm excited. But did you guys hear the leaks about Watch Dogs Legion?
Yeah.
Yes, I was actually going to bring that up. Watch Dogs Legion.
Did you guys hear that weird thing they're talking about, how it's like you can quote-unquote
NPCs.
play as anyone?
No.
Hack the people.
No, so yeah, they're basically saying like you can play as anyone. You can play as like any of the NPCs you see or some shit like that. So that leads me to believe either
I can live a normal life inside of a video game. I could be happy for once.
Can I play Cookie Mama in Watch Dogs? But that leads me to believe one of two things. Is this gonna be like... Is it still... shit, there's nothing. It's just like a leak. There's nothing to work on from it.
I think...
Is it gonna be one of... This is one of my two, like, theories. Is it gonna be like you're building, like, followers as in, like... Do you guys remember how Brotherhood worked? How you could, like, recruit apprentice assassins?
Yeah, yep.
Are you gonna do it like that, but you can swap between them? Or can you legit just, like, see characters who are, like, maybe they have an ally notification and you can just, like, swap to them freely?
Well,
see, what I'm thinking is...
See, that's the thing.
I'm thinking this is going to follow Watch Dogs 2. This is going to follow Watch Dogs... Here's my theory, okay? This is going to follow after Watch Dogs 2.
Obviously.
Okay, so it's going to follow Watch Dogs 2, of course, right after. But this is going to be a point in wherever they're going. Where are they going? Like Europe, I think, maybe? This is going to be a point...
London.
What, where?
London.
Big bad
London.
boys.
Yeah, okay. So they're going to London for this one. But here's my thought, right? This is going to be a point when the government, like, basically controls people enough so that people are forced and born with, like, implants, like these electronic implants. And that's how you start the hacking, and that's how you hack into people, right? You're going to be able to control the cybernetic implants or some shit, right? And now, um, being that, I'm assuming you're going to be like, you're not going to be the guy who, like, maybe you will play as the guy with his own, like, personality or something, another Marcus or whatever his name was, or another Aiden Pierce, uh, but, like,
Don't give me another Aiden Pierce. Don't say that,
the
Cody.
I think the whole point of essentially Watch Dogs Legion is going to be that, well, yeah, you're building, followers and shit, but also you get to see how their lives play out. You get to um, see what they're about, and I feel like they're going to try to put some personality into each of the NPCs, but that's going to be really difficult if they only do maybe like 10 NPCs or 20 NPCs, because if they do a certain number of NPCs and they do, somebody's going to see all of them. And honestly, like, that's something that people aren't going to want to see. Like, people are going to want unique experiences. You remember how many, like, descriptions and personality traits everybody in Watch Dogs had? Like, you remember, what was that video? My favorite video of all time. Making the world a better place. Yes. Where he goes around and he just, like, kills people with, like, different viewpoints than his. Like, you see a lot of shit.
Well,
You see a
here's
lot of
my
different
question.
shit.
How do you translate? Like, yeah, you can see all that, and it's easy to write up a shit ton. It's easy to write up like 300 to like 1,000. Like, it's easy to type down a shit ton of different personality quirks and traits, but actually translating that to voice acting and animation and like all that.
It's gonna cost a lot.
No, but my thing is, like, what if you can do that, but there's just like a set amount of like pre-written personality and archetypes and stuff.
Probably what it'll do is it's gonna be a randomized.
But the thing is, if I'm a person who's like, what if I'm just one of those fucking people who just is constantly hopping characters just because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
It's a feature in the game. How long until I run into something I've already seen?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's probably gonna be a randomized algorithm for it.
But you can't do that when you need so much as like voice act. Like, if you're gonna be playing these characters, when you go to do missions, they're gonna be playing through the story, the pre-written, predetermined story that they've made for us.
I mean, they can always do like Bethesda did and like give them like maybe a 5-6 voice actors total.
They could still do that, but the main point is like re-recording that much varied dialogue for different personality types.
Yeah.
I don't see it as being like
feasible.
As being feasible with like making a profit. So like, it's something that could be done, but it would take an eternity to do, and it would cost way too much to the point where it's like, I'm saying like at most we got like 30 different personalities.
Probably. Slight topic.
But
change.
again, this is just a leak.
Slight topic change. Still on the topic of leaks. Did you guys see the potential Smash DLC leak today?
No.
It was a post from a.
It's what you've been
Redditor.
waiting for, Michael.
Yeah, it's a post from a Redditor who's been right before, we'll say, who said it's been a while since Banjo's been in something. Looks like he's in for a smashing good time.
And now, I think it'd be neat to see Banjo. I'm like I
Fuck
said,
you, give me Banjo.
Like me and Michael were saying at some point a long time ago, we were talking about DLC characters we want to see, and talking about how, well, it would be neat, of course, if Nintendo had not only one but two, like they announced two DLC characters and then
Do you want me to
released
word
one
it how
of
I
them.
worded
Yeah,
it?
go ahead and word it how you worded it, because it was actually on point.
There's 3 different levels of lucky we get with Nintendo and Smash on E3. We either get one, which is they announce a character, and we maybe get a release date for it, or we get some news on it. 2, we get one character announced and one character teased, or maybe 2 characters announced. And I figure the third tier of lucky is we get the second character announced, and we get the We get the third character announced, and we get the second character announced, and the second character drops, like, within the week. I figure those are the 3 levels of lucky we get.
Yeah.
I really want it to be a character drops and we get a tease, but I think we might just possibly get 2
pulling
announcements.
something like Bayonetta's release, where they did the stream and then like she was available right after.
Yeah, see, I think because Nintendo always does that. Whenever they do some kind of variety direct, they're always like, "Hey, this is available now." Like something's always available after the direct or during. And I feel it would be a perfect lineup because was it you I was talking to, Cody? We've gotten a Smash character roughly every 3 months since launch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like almost like every 2 to 3 months. Because Plant was late January, we can call it February.
Just because he released early.
Yeah. Then Joker was April 2 months later. So yeah, I was saying it's every 2 months. So E3 in the middle of June, we've gotten a character every 2 months. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Yeah.
They could just drop a character at E3 if they're available after the direct.
Have they announced the direct for E3 yet?
Yeah, they're doing it's the 11th, Tuesday. Because you got Microsoft Sunday. All I know is Microsoft.
I'm looking forward to Bethesda. See if maybe we get more information on Elder Scrolls 6.
I doubt it. Because we're probably going to get, what is it? Their new space game.
Yeah, probably that.
We're probably going to get news on that and Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Probably they're just going to announce Fallout 76 goes free to play.
I don't know. I think we might just get news on like their new DLC season.
The biggest thing that everyone was speculating that Fallout 76 goes free to play.
At most, I see like maybe a partnership with someone to like maybe Xbox Game Pass. I don't see free to play everywhere.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, with how badly that game did. They just open it up free to play and put it in microtransactions.
But Bethesda has a little bit of leeway that like they're not like Fallout 76 was a terrible fucking launch. It was shitty in every way imaginable. To the point where everyone hated Bethesda for the following months. Like, Bethesda's a bad word. But then Anthem happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, it could be worse.
What do you guys
It
think?
could be.
Division
Well,
2
when
DLC?
does EA not make themselves look like a bunch of asshats? Let's be honest.
I think the show I'm most excited for outside of Microsoft and Nintendo is Ubisoft. Because I don't care what anyone thinks about Ubisoft. The past couple years, they've been a good company. They've been a company that's actually learning from their mistakes and wanting to improve based on player feedback.
I think possibility for Ubisoft could also be something like either new Far Cry DLC, hint at the new Far Cry, or a Rainbow Six Siege sequel.
Well, they already showed a little. No, there's no Siege sequel.
10 years. 10 years.
Is it 10 years? I thought it was 5.
10 whole
They're just
ass
supporting
years is
Rainbow
what they
Six
said.
with DLC for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, we'll just say foreseeable future. I'm pretty sure they said 10 years.
They're gonna show Ghost Recon, the new Ghost Recon. New news on the Division. Probably more operators and working on Rainbow Six Siege because they said that's a definite. We got Watch Dogs Legion. There was that roller derby game that leaked some info. Probably get Far Cry DLC, like you said.
Let's talk about Steam dropping Half-Life 3 E3
It's not gonna happen.
Right then,
because
right there.
Steam doesn't fucking care.
Oh,
Steam
do you
doesn't
think
make
they get more on Left Behind.
Left Behind.
I can't remember the name of it. The new zombie game that Turtle Rock is coming out with.
Oh, maybe at like the PC Gamer show.
Because I know a lot of people are anticipating that one from Turtle Rock.
Maybe.
I really wish Evolve hadn't died.
Borderlands 3. I'm excited to see more from Borderlands 3, if I'm honest. I mean, like Borderlands 2, there's going to be that DLC for Borderlands 2, the first DLC, and
there's a DLC for Borderlands 2?
Yeah,
they're releasing a new DLC for Borderlands 2
to lead up to 3.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be like right before 3. And then they're going to release it, and then it's going to build up to 3. so it gives you a bit of story as to what's happening and why it's happening. Borderlands 3 still looks good. I'm not a big fan of the Vault Hunters that they're so far showing off, but it's whatever. I mean, I'm sure they'll release better DLC characters.
Well, I think that's a good point to bring up, though. Borderlands is also one of those games where the story formula is basically the same.
But the gameplay's fun enough that
Yeah, the gameplay is
it's a
fun
basic
enough.
bitch
Well,
story, but it's fun enough that it's engaging. Like, I'm actively doing stuff because I'm not saying that going back to Pokemon. I'm not saying that turn-based fighting isn't fun. It's just it is the same old song and dance.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's
I
something
mean,
about
like Borderlands
shooters I
is
can't get into.
go here, shoot this thing, loot, but it's engaging enough that you come back for more.
Everything's
you come
happening
back, you
in
love
real
it.
time, and I'm actively affecting it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And in a good way. Like, it feels good. Borderlands feels good to play.
yeah, I can understand that.
Whereas, like, again, it's a base by base issue.
It's a basis, yeah.
Definitely.
Whereas, because, like, Call of Duty, for example, that is the same shit gameplay wise every time. Sometimes they have a unique story. Modern Warfare looks like it's gonna be good, but it's like, as long as you make enough changes throughout the years, people won't complain.
Moral of
Yeah.
the story: change your game just enough every time so people don't get tired of it, but it's also the same game, so you make lots of money.
Yeah, basically, literally, Call of Duty, greatest selling game franchise in history.
Do you guys think they're gonna show off anything Grand Theft Auto wise?
No,
Sure.
it's too early.
No,
It's
they're
way
still
too
they're
early.
still banking off of Red Dead 2, so
you know
they're
what's
probably
fucking
gonna
weird to
release some
me?
stupid ass DLC for Red Dead 2 and
Undead
call it a
Nightmare for
day.
Red Dead 2 would be cool.
Like I said, I was talking to Rylan a couple weeks back. I don't care about Red Dead 2 at all. There's just something about it that doesn't interest me as much as I loved Red Dead 1 to death. But if they released an Undead Nightmare 2, I would be all over that. I'd pick up that $60 game and the $30 DLC right there.
I'd have to agree. Red Dead 2,
It's like,
there's something about
Undead,
it that's
Undead
just not
Nightmare made
enjoyable.
zombies actually terrifying.
Yeah, Hordes are... Did you guys see that World War Z already dropped?
Yeah.
Dude, that dropped like
That's been out.
3 weeks
yeah.
ago or some shit.
I thought they just started the beta for it.
No.
I was freaked out.
But, okay. Nintendo. E3. How much gameplay do they actually show of anything?
Very little. I think
Very little.
we'll get a lot
Animal
of more
Crossing.
anime trailers, but not much in the way of gameplay.
I want to see stuff on Luigi's Mansion 3.
Same.
I think most that we get gameplay wise is going to be centered around Animal Crossing.
If that, because there's rumors going around, it might not be releasing this year.
That's what I said, and you didn't believe me.
I didn't hear that. I blacked out.
I told you I was like, oh yeah, I saw something about Nintendo not bringing Animal Crossing to E3 because it got postponed. Then you're like, oh no, Animal Crossing didn't get postponed. What are you talking about? Why would they postpone it? It's one of their most profitable games. Dumb bitch.
Fuck off. But, I hope not. Because fuck them. I want to have my addiction to paying off loans.
You just want to see Isabelle.
If she's even in the next
Tell
one.
me.
She's only been in New Leaf.
How can she
she's
not be in the next
Smash.
one?
She can't. not be.
She's a staple character.
Yeah.
now.
She became a staple character in one game because so many people were thirsty for
What about her new-
What? Oh!
New Castlevania?
No, why? Bloodstain's coming out.
But Bloodstain's not Castlevania.
So?
It's wannabe Castlevania.
No. It's
The
gonna
new
be-
Simon and Richter models.
No, dude. Have you guys heard the rumors? So you know how retro games, they like completely scrapped Metroid Prime 4?
Mm-hmm.
Because retro games came and they showed their demo for it. So did you hear the rumor why they weren't originally working on it?
No.
It's gone around that they might be working on the next Star Fox game.
Oh, okay. Wasn't the last Star Fox game just like not good?
Oh yeah, because it was made by Platinum Games.
Wasn't the one about before that too also not good?
The one before that was fucking shit. What's
The S one?
No, Star Fox, that was received well within like Star Fox fans. But no, because Platinum Games only knows how to make hack and slashes. They shouldn't make anything besides that.
What does Platinum usually make?
Hack and slashes,
Such as
Bayonetta 1 and 2.
Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
Oh, Gears 5. Kinda, not really, but...
Gears 5. Kind of, but not really. Halo 6.
More like Hey No 6.
More like...
Oh, yeah. Halo, quote-unquote, 6. We're degenerates in this household.
Should we be wrapping this up?
I feel like it.
Alright.
Alright, well, what should we end it on? What do you think we should end it on here?
Okay. Since this is, like, all we're gonna say...
This is kind of all around as far as
well, no, this
gaming
is all,
and stuff.
This is all we got. We've been talking about games for like the past 15 minutes, so we only talked about not games for the first 10. Since we're on games, what do you, like, before we go, what do you want to see out of E3? Like, it doesn't matter, like, what are you hopeful for? Like, talked about, rumored, not, fake, whatever. What do you want?
Funky Kong and Smash.
DK Chunky's dead. Two things I'm really looking forward to. As far as E3, well, no, 4 things. I'll give you 4 things that I'm looking forward to as far as E3.
4 times
okay.
what I asked for.
I know, but some of them are real here. Okay, so we have Bayonetta 3. I'm really looking forward to that. Battletoads. Yes, I'm really looking forward to Bayonetta 3 and Battletoads and Animal Crossing, of course, and Link's Awakening. I'm really excited to see how they're gonna,
Animal
do
Crossing.
Link's Awakening.
That's illegal.
Other than that, I think my biggest hope is to see. I mean, there's like a world of possibility at this point. I'm just looking to see that collab between JoJo and Fortnite that we've been waiting for.
Oh yeah, I forgot the JoJo Battle Royale.
Oh yeah,
the JoJo Battle Royale. I don't think that's coming to America.
They'll show that on American soil.
I would love to see JoJo Battle Royale because it looks pretty cool. Speaking of which, I just wanted to throw this in here at some point. I just wanted to say that Part 4 could have ended with much less bloodshed if Rohan actually was a good guy. I think he really just wanted to watch Kira die.
Okay, quick side note. I just want to bring this up for all the nerds. Potential Baldur's Gate coming out.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And then whatever Blizzard's got in store should be pretty lit.
Nah, it's gonna fucking suck.
Come on, let me
name one good thing Blizzard's done in the past 2 years, because Overwatch isn't an answer.
Classic. Classic.
That hasn't been done yet.
It's being done.
No, name one good thing they've done.
Battle for Azeroth was okay when it came out.
No. When that came out, all I saw was people shitting on it everywhere. You started shitting on it later.
No, I started shitting on it later because it got bad.
Yeah.
Hearthstone's okay.
Hearthstone wasn't released in the past 2 years.
Obviously, Diablo. God,
fuck yourself.
I mean, I wish they had shown something new for Diablo.
I wish they were a good company. I'm just excited for Nintendo in general. And, like, I wish I was a bigger Gears fan. I'm excited for Gears 5 solely because of how dry gaming has been for any actual good co-op experience.
All right, let's. I say we get to wrapping it up here.
Okay. So long.
Wrap up. Back to wrap up.
That's.
Say goodbye. Adieu.
That's the show.
Adieu to you and you and you.
We're gonna put this on YouTube so we get copy striked.
Yes, my voice is that.
To end here, I just want to say, I think everyone should just go home and drink a little bit, and no matter what happens at E3, just don't be a dick,
Don't get mad at people for having a good time and enjoying shit.
Unless it's Blizzard releasing a mobile Diablo.
Unless it's Blizzard existing, get mad. Fucking get angry.
Then get mad.
Just
get
fucking
mad.
Overthrow your local fucking government.
Burn their fucking house down.
Don't
Find
do any
Jeff
of
Kaplan
that, actually.
and burn his house down.
Have a peaceful
Please don't burn Jeff
petition
Kaplan's
from their
house down.
Irvine office.
We're American. You can't put peaceful and petition together.
Get the manure. Drive a truck into their office.
Okay, we're going off on too many tangents. Thank you for listening if you got this far. we'll be back next week, maybe.
Thanks for listening to us spout bullshit for over an hour.
You're all
Have
great.
a great night.
Use my creator code on Fortnite. Bye.